Let's welcome in then to the show as promised. Craig Burley is here and fresh from the VAR booth. Julien Laurens joins us as well. Hey, I tell you what, Craig, last half hour of this game was cracking, wasn't it?
No, it was good, and it was nice to see Karim Benzema score another tap-in, Dan.
Yes, that's Stevie.
Stevie told the world last week that Benzema only scores.
We've seen 100 of them. We've seen 100 of their goals. 10 a penny.
He's no more Salah, is he? But I tell you what, he just keeps getting better and better, doesn't he? But yeah, you know, I suppose for the semi-final, read the final for France again. It was not very good in the first half. Not a brilliant start to the second half, but got better as the game got on, and I maybe felt Spain got a little bit overconfident. Scored that excellent goal. Poor defending from Upamecano, who looked a bit edgy when he came on for Varane. But Elazabal with a great finish. And then Spain were all this celebrating, and all of a sudden the game sort of opened up for France, and we finally saw them on the counter-attack with better precision passes in behind. And yeah, I think we saw the real threat from France on the counter-attack. But ultimately, as I said last week, you know, whatever you think of the Nations League in respect to the Euros and the World Cup, they're never going to be on that standing. But boy, at least these guys, out with those horrendous international friendlies that Stevie and I played in and we had for years and nobody wanted to watch them, at least we have something tangible that it's not the greatest trophy in the world, but at least the guys want to play in the game. And I think we saw that on both semi-finals. I'm not so sure about the third and fourth playoff, but certainly the semi-finals and the final.
Jules, just from a football fan's perspective, isn't it great that we're sat here and we're going to be talking about Kylian Mbappe and what he's doing on the pitch as opposed to off it?
No, you're right. And semi-final, we said how he had a point to prove, really, and the character that he showed in that game against Belgium, where he was fantastic from start to finish. And I felt tonight, again, the expectations were big because all we were saying back home was, can he do it again now? Can he do the same thing that he did against Belgium? This time against Spain, 3 days on. What about that front three, his relationship with Benzema and with Griezmann, all of that. So again, you could feel the pressure and the weight on his shoulders. And first half to forget, like everybody else. Second half, much better. He could easily have scored two, but the way he took his goal, like Stevie described, was fantastic. So it's good, but you know when he's got a chip on his shoulder like he had before these two games, and the way he reacted has to be praised.
We will talk about the offside decision in a moment. But Craig, I just want to go back to you and just talk about the quality of that finish.
Well, it's unsurprising, isn't it? I mean, the guy's won a World Cup. He's one of the most sought after, if not the most sought after player on the planet, albeit with Messi and Ronaldo in their 30s now. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised. I mean, he did scuff one earlier, I believe, off his heel. I think it was before the goal when he rushed it a little bit, but he doesn't. He's supremely confident, isn't he? He doesn't let it affect him. And yeah, once he's got a bit of space to run in behind, you know, obviously it was a smidge offside, but we're going to talk about the whys and the why nots of that decision. But leave him space to run into, and he's excellent.
I think, like most, Stevie, when we watched it in real time, we thought, this is going to get chalked off. Yep. Because obviously he looked offside, but it was that touch from Eric Garcia that proves to be decisive, obviously, because he's tried to play the ball and it has then gone into Kylian Mbappe's path. It counts, it resets, he's onside, and the goal stands.
Yeah, it's a horrible rule. It's a rotten rule. It's a rule that basically goes against defenders and helps attackers. There's not a defender in the world who's going to think, well, OK, he's offside, I'm just going to let the ball go through because he's offside. Your brain doesn't work that way. You don't take chances, you don't gamble with it, you try and clear it. And of course, it's a good ball through, which makes it hard for him to get properly. He just barely touches it, and then Mbappe gets the advantage. It's a rotten rule, but it's what the rule is now, and until it changes, then forwards are going to benefit from it.
Do you agree, Craig?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's no way. Who was the defender? Was it Garcia?
Yes, yeah.
Eric Garcia. There's no way he knows that Mbappe is, half a foot offside, whatever it was. I mean, it was tight, but he was off, and there's no way you know that, as Stevie said, in a split second. So your natural instinct is to try and intercept the ball. So yeah, I mean, I suppose there's some out there that will say, you know, the laws of the game have been changed, you know, in the last 10, 20 years to try and improve and give an advantage to the attacking team and the attacking players to see more goals. But that goes, as Stevie said, it goes against the grain of the defensive aspect of the game. But yeah, that's the reason it was allowed, and a frustrating one from a Spanish perspective.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.